Hey everybody, it's me Amanda with Once in a Wild, and welcome to Once in a Wild Wednesday. Sorry for being gone for a couple of weeks, but we're back and we're really happy to see everybody tuning in here on Facebook and YouTube, of course. So welcome. Hello everyone, and I'm going to give everybody a couple of minutes to join in. Let me know how the broadcast is looking. I know last time, a couple of weeks ago when we broadcasted, we had a little bit of technical difficulties with our picture coming through. So please always keep me informed on how everything looks. That way we know and we can troubleshoot everything and make sure everybody can see everything crystal clear. So happy new year almost. It's coming up soon. Aren't we all happy for a new year? 2021 is right around the corner, and this will be our last broadcast for 2020. Thank goodness. Good riddance, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and hope for a better year, and we are happy to bring some animals to see you guys today, as we usually do every single Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, right here, right now. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Once again, hello everyone, and I hope you're doing well. If you do have any questions or comments for me, please go ahead and let me know what those questions and comments are in the comments section down below. You can comment or leave me a question on YouTube or Facebook, whichever you would prefer to watch this on. We are here every single Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, and we typically show you about 3 different animal species, and today is no different. We are going to be having a snake feeding today, and I forgot to put my banner up that I usually do. I'm going to go ahead and create this banner. That way everybody knows what's happening. Snake feeding today, just to make sure that everybody knows what's happening. And those of you that are not comfortable with seeing a snake getting fed, now is your chance to go ahead and skip this portion. We are going to be doing things a little bit different and feeding our snake first, and then proceeding to our next couple of animal species. Normally we save the snake feeding for the end, but I thought I would actually go ahead and do that first, just to switch it up a little bit and be able to talk about our snake, because it usually takes a long time for the snake to be able to eat. They eat very slowly, as you will be able to see here in a little bit. And it looks like our snake is actually hiding right now. I see her little face right here, but we actually have Harley Quinn, the corn snake, joining us. Don't worry, she should be right back whenever she decides to come out of the mulch. We have her enclosure right here next to me. This isn't her normal enclosure. That's why there's barely anything in it. Normally she does have a much larger enclosure, as well as water and all kinds of things to hide in and play on. But right now we're going to be showing you how she eats. So I do have kind of a simplified version of her enclosure right now. So let's see who is checking in. Hello, Viviana. Nice to see you. I'm not sure how long, thanks to my own Wi-Fi issues. Oh, you're saying you have Wi-Fi issues, so you don't know how long you'll be on. By 2020, soon it will be 2021. By the way, we are having a snake feeding. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that banner, and I will re-warn everybody before we actually do feed the snake. I guess she's deciding to hide right now. But Harley Quinn is our corn snake, and she will be being fed today here in a little bit. Let's see who else is checking in. Hello, everyone. And it's so good to see you guys. We missed you for a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for having patience with us as we took a little bit of a holiday break, and just a little bit of a break just to kind of recharge, I guess, whatever it may be. And everybody needs a break every once in a while. So we took a 2-week hiatus, if you will, and we're happy to be back. It felt like a long time, even though it was only a couple of weeks. It feels like a long time since I have done the live stream, because it's been a staple part of my routine every single week, seeing you guys. So I'm happy to be back, and I hope you're happy to be here. Today we're going to see 3 animal species, and I hope you are going to be excited to see who comes out and says hello. Speaking of which, I don't think Harley Quinn wants to come out and say hello, but I promise you she will come out once we offer the food, because she is a very good eater. Now, I do say that, but this is real life, and it is live. This is happening right now, right here in front of me. So she decides not to eat. That's her prerogative, but she almost always eats. In fact, I don't think she's ever refused a meal. So we will try it here in just a little bit. I may go ahead and take her out of the mulch so you can see her a little bit better. Let's see what we can do, because she normally is out and about and is not a shy snake, so I don't know what is happening, but I'm going to stand up and actually see if she will come on out. I do not have her food out yet, so she should be just fine for me to go ahead and just manipulate a little bit. There she is. She's such a beautiful snake. Now, I won't really be holding her for the presentation today because we are getting ready to feed her, and she probably knows that. She is a very, very nice and sweet snake in every single way, but she is also a very food-motivated snake. So that is actually the most common way that people get bitten by their own snakes is by handling them while feeding them or during feeding in some way, shape, or form. So, of course, snakes are carnivores, and most of the time here in the care of humans, as well as in the wild, they do eat rodents. So we are going to be offering her a rodent in just a little bit. So if you have never been to our show before, welcome. And we are happy to have new followers every single day and all the time. So we're happy to have new followers as well as our not old followers, but our frequent followers, I should say, joining us today. So if you have never seen the show before, we are Once in a Wild and we are a mobile zoo. What does that mean? Well, that means we have animals that can travel and we bring the zoo to you. We can bring the zoo to your classroom. We can bring the zoo to your party, birthday party, whatever it may be, all kinds of things, events of all types. We do festivals as well. And we also offer virtual animal encounters. So now that I'm saying that, I want to go ahead and share with you guys our virtual Zoom Room animal encounter commercial. That way it will explain how that works and that will be out of the way and then we can proceed to our snake feeding. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, let me go ahead and share that screen really quick with you guys. That way, if this is your first time seeing this video or if this is in the future, I'm talking to you guys, once the video is broadcast to YouTube or Facebook later, we want to make sure and explain all the things that we have to offer. So we do offer in-person animal encounters in the San Antonio, Texas, and surrounding cities area, of course, and those are a lot of fun. But if you're not in San Antonio or you happen to not be interested in in-person activities right now because of the situation at hand, which we are hoping and praying that will get better next year. But in the meantime, if you are interested in a virtual animal encounter and you don't know how those work, this will explain everything. And I'll let past me go ahead and describe all of this for you. How's that?
Stuck in the house with nothing to do? Did your students miss their fun field trip that was planned for them? Are you looking for a fun team building activity for your employees that are stuck in the house with the same old Zoom meetings from day in and day out? Was your child's birthday party canceled this year because you're stuck in quarantine? Well, then we got the solution for you. Our Zoom Room animal encounters are a great solution for you. In Zoom Room virtual animal encounters, we can bring the zoo to you, but from the safety of your own home. They are fully customizable, and you can invite all your friends to join in and meet all the animals. They are fun, unique, and very interactive. It's also a great learning opportunity. And most of all, it's very, very simple. Just contact us to book your appointment and schedule your Zoom room. Then select the animals you would like to attend in your Zoom Room animal encounter, and then send the link to all of your friends and family who are invited to the Zoom Room that we provide to your email. And best of all, we can bring the animals to anyone, anywhere, all over the world. So visit us at onceinawild.com or call us today. We can't wait to see you.
All right, so that explains that, right? So we can remove this, but I just want to make sure and cover all my bases before I continue. And another thing I do like to bring up is we are always accepting donations to our zoo. We are a mobile zoo, so we have a lot of animals. We actually have over 75 animals and probably more because we do have all kinds of creepy crawlies. And I don't necessarily count all of my Madagascar hissing cockroaches all the time because they are always having babies for us. So it's over 75 animal individuals. Not over 75 species, but that's still a lot of animal. So we do have to keep them fed and taken care of and enriched. So there are several ways that you can, if you don't want to have a Zoom Room animal encounter or a animal encounter at all right now, that's okay. You can donate to us in other ways. One way is through Venmo, through Cash App, which is also down below for you guys. Right here. Both of those handles are at Once in a Wild, and we also have a PayPal, which is also at Once in a Wild. You can donate an amount of your choice if you want to. That is always much appreciated, of course. Every little bit does help us in order to take care of our animals, and all proceeds go to animal care and animal everything that we can, make sure and take care of our animals. That is our main goal. And here at Once in a Wild with all of our donations. And there's also another way that you can donate, excuse me, there's another way that you can donate to our zoo, which is through our Amazon wish list. We have a bunch of wish list items on our Amazon wish list, which I'm sure you're familiar with Amazon by now. This has been the year of Amazon. Thank goodness for Amazon. But what I'm trying to say is we have on our website, which is onceinaWilds.com, you can go to our website and scroll all the way down to the bottom there and click donate. I believe it says donate to Amazon or donate to the Amazon wish list. It's super obvious. You'll be able to find it on onceinawild.com. That's a really fun way to donate items to our animals as well. And we also accept all kinds of animal donations to and kennels and carriers and all kinds of animal toys within reason. We can take used items as well, or just donated items that you choose to donate as well. But like I said, if you want to donate to us, those are a few options for you guys. So we greatly appreciate that. But of course, the best way to help us out is by us helping you out as well, by providing your own private virtual animal encounter or your own in-person animal encounter, which is a lot of fun. We have so many animals to choose from, as you might imagine, with about 75 animals. We have something for everyone. They're very educational as well as a lot of fun and very interactive, as I said on my commercial. So please let me know if you're interested in any of that. All of that helps us out a great deal. We are definitely dependent on you guys to keep going, and every little bit helps. So now, to the animal encounter at hand. What do you guys think? Are you guys ready to see the snake feeding? I know that you guys, if you've seen my virtual programs before where we've done snake feedings before, we typically save the snake feedings for the end. Looks like Harley Quinn has gone back into hiding. Goodness gracious. This is real life. Snakes do whatever they want. I guess she's getting some enrichment out of playing in the mulch. That is good snake enrichment. Believe it or not, reptiles need enrichment too, because they have brains that need to keep stimulated, and they need things to do, and they're wild animals. They're not domesticated, and even domesticated animals need this too. But all animals need something to do with their time and to keep them stimulated and not bored, etc. So again, she's having a good time in the mulch. But I promise you, whenever she knows that we're going to be feeding her, she will pop out and say hello once again. I'm looking for where she is. But we are going to be doing our snake feeding today, and we're going to do that first before we get to the other animals. That way, we can go ahead and get it out of the way. It takes a while for her to eat because she is a snake, and snakes take a long time. Snakes take a long time to eat. They eat their food in one bite instead of chewing it up, and they take a little bit of time to do that. So in the past, I have taken a lot of time to kind of stare at the snake and talk about them. So I've learned my lesson. Also, we want to, once Harley Quinn is done eating, I'm going to make room for other animals right here, because this takes up a lot of room on the screen, as you can see. And we just have like this half where I'm over here in my own little square kind of section. And if I move all of this out of the way in between animals, I'll be able to have more room. So we're going to start with that and whatnot. No, the winter storm is not helping. Are you guys able to see the picture okay? Is everything looking okay in the broadcast? I sure hope that it is. Ricky's saying another way to help is by telling a friend. Yeah, a free way to help us out is by following us on social media. You can follow us on our YouTube or subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm sure you guys already have done that are watching now. But tell all your friends about us. Tell all your friends that we exist. That we kind of need help. Tell them about all of our programs that we can help you guys out with and help them out with. And it's really for everyone. We're for all ages. We're for all different people. We can customize everything for you guys, but also it just helps us to, for you guys to spread the word to your friends and family, and also tell them to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to follow us on our social media like Facebook and Instagram, and that helps us out quite a bit too. And that's just a free way to help us out. Another free way to help us out is by sharing the videos, as well as liking the videos and leaving a comment down below. Now, I did, speaking of comments, I think we've had some issues with comments coming through. If you guys are commenting and I'm not seeing your questions and comments, trust me, I try to address almost every single comment and question in one way or another, whether it be right now on the live stream or going back and just answering the question the manual way with typing in the answers. I always try to do that. So please don't be discouraged if I'm not answering. We've had some issues with, especially YouTube, with the questions and comments coming through. And I think part of that might be issues with subscribers that are underage. I don't know if they're allowed to, for some reason, give me their questions on the live stream. Also, if you are watching in a group on Facebook, or if you're watching on a group on YouTube, I don't know if there is such a thing where you watch in like a group, I will not see those comments and questions. So I do apologize, but that is something that we are learning actually happens. I can't see them on the live stream. So just want to let you guys know that. Yeah, we've had some blustery weather coming in too, just like Winnie the Pooh, the blustery day today. We've had some nasty rain and some wind. I hope it gets warmer because I do not enjoy wintertime weather and definitely not cold rain winter. So I'm sure that's not helping with your Wi-Fi. I'm so very sorry. Thank you so much for sharing. Viviana says, I've shared your info with some fellow teachers in my school district about you all. Thank you so very much. Schools are actually our favorite way to get the word out and our message out about animals because we're very educational and that's what we're based in. So I think it is time to try to feed our crazy snake over here. So I'm actually going to offer her the food now. I know she's a little bit invisible, but I feel like she will come out if she smells a mouse. So a little bit about snakes, if you guys don't already know. Snakes are very smell-based. Snakes do have eyes to see with. Their eyes are not very good. Their vision isn't great. They don't see very much color at all. And their eyes are always open, which is neat. But their vision isn't very sharp and they're really not very visual. Where they are very sensitive is going to be their sense of smell. Snakes also have no external. It is debatable whether or not they can hear a little bit, but it's more through feeling vibrations that they hear, which if you are being really deep and philosophical, and if you really think about it, vibration is how we all hear, right? But not every animal is created equal in how they sense sound. So they do sense sound, but it's mostly through vibrations in their jawbone, which is usually on the ground or on a tree branch or something against something. They can sense noises, vibrations that way. They can sense very, very deep bass music and things like that, but it's more through feeling. So they feel sound more so than hear like we do because we have external ears. Of course, they do not, so they don't hear very well. They see okay, it's not great, but they do have an amazing sense of smell. And all of those things combined, especially the smell with a little bit of movement, is going to stimulate them to eat, typically. She's a very good eater. But snakes are very, very good hunters when it comes to their sense of smell. And they use their forked tongue to, of course, they stick their tongue out and they pull it back in, they stick it out, and they kind of flick their tongue a lot. As long as they are kind of alert and looking around, they're going to be smelling. And they are going to be taking in scent particles on their forked tongue, which is very slender as well. And when their tongue comes back into their mouth, it will actually rub against the roof of their mouth. And that is where they have a special organ called the Jacobson's organ, which is not unique to only snakes. However, snakes have a very, very well-developed Jacobson's organ, which is an organ that will tell their brain all kinds of information directly from the smells that they're smelling. So they're kind of seeing with their sense of smell. So hopefully she will smell. Oh, I see her moving around. I'm going to give her a chance to come out so you can really see what happens. So Harley Quinn is a corn snake who currently under this mulch, and she is in this enclosure right here. By the way, if you didn't hear me say already, this is not her normal enclosure. This is just a kind of like a display enclosure for the show. And typically I'm going to feed her in something else, but she is used to eating in mulch in general, but I guess she's having a good old time hiding underneath the mulch. She's having fun. I do see her popping out. So you know what? I'm going to see what she will do. I am going to now offer food to our snake. The food to the snake is going to be a mouse. So if you are sensitive to snakes eating, it is not a live mouse. The mouse has already passed and is no longer with us. This is what they are, carnivores. And that actually is what makes them very, very important to the natural environment. A lot of people don't care for snakes, and that is okay if you don't care for snakes. We know that everybody loves snakes as much as we do here at Once in a Wild. However, they are my favorite animal. But snakes do help us out quite a bit by eating a lot of pesky rodents and other animals that can make us sick. And Lord knows we don't need any more diseases going on right now. So the more carnivores that eat disease-carrying animals, the better. And also, it also helps the other prey animals, for example, the mice that are not ill. So carnivores, just a little lesson, carnivores typically will eat sickly or slower animals than the more healthy animals, just because they're going to be slower and easier to catch. And that actually helps those other animals to thrive by not having diseases in their circle as well. So it helps everybody out to have predators to keep everything in balance, right? Yes, correct. Hello, Cedric. Cats have the Jacobson's organ as well. Many animals have the Jacobson's organ to help them tell their brain what's going on with smells. That's essentially what it does. It's like a supercomputer. It's a computer that processes smells and tells their brain, just like we are looking around with our eyes, and our eyes tell our brain what's going on. For them, they have that extra sense of smell as well. Pretty neat. Yes, and thank you so very much, Viviana, for sharing our information with other people. That helps us out a great deal and is much appreciated. Okay, so we all know there's going to be a snake feeding. I'm going to take away this banner so that the rest of our information can be down below. So Harley Quinn has gone into hiding here. Harley Quinn is a corn snake. These guys are, she's a red rat snake, also known as the corn snake, and they are found in the eastern United States. Are you going to come out? For everyone, this is a show, Harley Quinn. It is live, but no pressure. Maybe I will see what's going on over here. Hello. Would you like to eat? I know you would. Hello. Oh, there you are. There you are. I see you. Don't worry, I'm not hurting her or anything like that. I'm just going to see what's going on gently. But I don't want to stick my hand in there because she may smell the mouse already. I've got it in my hand, kind of warming it up for her. It is a frozen thawed rodent, which we highly recommend you feed your snakes if you have snakes at home. Oh, there she is on the other side. So she's on the way on the other side, right here. Your little head. She is a corn snake. She is red. She's also known as the red rat snake. Would you like to come over here? Come over here. I'm going to tease her with the mouse a little bit, but don't worry, I'm going to let her have it. You want to come over here? So this is usually why I feed the snakes last, because sometimes we have technical difficulties or animal difficulties. Trying to get her attention. Sorry, you guys. This may take a minute. So I don't want her to eat on this side because you won't be able to see the action. So she is a corn snake, which is a type of colubrid. Richard, if you're watching, your favorite word, colubrid. Colubrids are king snakes, rat snakes like this, milk snakes, hognose snakes, bull snakes. There's all kinds of colubrids. My favorite colubrid species is the indigo snake. All of those snakes are kind of like the leftover category of snakes. They're not considered to be a constrictor, and they're definitely not. They're not a sea snake, so they're kind of like the leftover type snakes. Well, I'm gonna give her a chance to come back over here. Maybe if I shut this again, she will feel that and be curious about what's going on. Snakes are very curious animals. This species of snake is a very active type snake as well. I'm gonna check my camera really fast, you guys. Thank you for your patience with me. Normally, this is really, really action-packed when I feed the snakes, but right now she's being a little bit strange. So maybe if I flip the enclosure around, I'm gonna do this. I'll be right back. I promise. Okay, I have flipped the enclosure around. Here's her head. Now we're gonna feed her. You guys excited? Okay, snake feeding right now. And Harley Quinn is gonna get her mouse. Okay, Harley, are you ready? Everyone who wants to see you eat, would you like the mouse? Oh yes, she says yes, I would like the mouse. Now she understands what's going on. You can see the tongue coming out and she is trying to smell it. There you go. There we go. I want to make sure she comes all the way out. Now again, this is not considered to be a constrictor, technically. She is a colubrid, which is kind of a slender-bodied type snake. The leftovers, right? In the snake world, you have constrictors like boas and pythons. You have venomous snakes of all kinds, including vipers and elapids like cobras and things. You have sea snakes. And then you have colubrids, which are your rat snakes, like the red rat snake or the corn snake, same thing. And you also have all kinds of other colubrids. So they're not technically constrictors, but as you can see, she does constrict with her body to be able to hold the mouse still because her instincts are telling her that she better hold this mouse still before it gets away. The mouse is not alive, but instinctively she's going to do that in order to hold onto her prey. And of course, she doesn't have any hands for holding her food. So she's holding her food with her body. She is wrapped around it. Pretty soon she will start to eat the mouse. Now, again, this is why snakes are so very important. They eat so many rodents for us. A lot of people think that cats eat a lot of rodents, but cats really don't eat a lot of rodents by comparison to birds, lizards, other reptiles, and even insects. Cats are very, very good hunters. If you have kitty cats, I suggest and highly recommend keeping them indoors at all times because they are quite detrimental to wildlife. And cats really don't hunt and eat rats and mice very often, a little bit, but by comparison to other animals that they are causing harm to, it's really not worth it at all. Hi, Samantha. Nice to see you. Thank you for being on here today. And yes, Harley Quinn is getting her food right here on the live stream today. So I thought I'd do a snake feeding because it's been a while since I've done a snake feeding here on the live stream. And we've been gone for a couple of weeks. So I figured what better encounter than a snake feeding. So Harley Quinn is taking her sweet time to kill the prey. But of course, our prey item here is already passed away. So, but they do eat a lot of rodents for us. They are extremely important. Snakes eat about once a week in the care of humans, and they can go a long time without eating in general. This type of snake, the corn snake, typically will want to eat about once a week. They are pretty high metabolisms when it comes to being a snake. But snakes in general don't eat very often because they are reptiles and they have a slow metabolism by comparison to mammals because they are cold-blooded, or also, as we like to say, ectothermic. We are endothermic, having our own body temperature. They don't have their own body temperature, so their metabolism is very slow. However, colubrids, like the corn snake, eat a lot more often than, say, like a boa or a python, which would typically eat a very large prey item and then take their sweet time digesting it. Corn snakes actually help us out in all kinds of rat snakes, which should really be called rodent snakes, in my opinion, because they don't eat a lot of rats, they eat a lot of mice. If they are a small rat, they might eat those, but they really come from the term rodent snake. But it's easier to say rat snake than rodent snake, right? We miss you as well. So good to see you on here, though. Cedric says, my cat eats more of my house plants than mice. Yeah, cats will also munch on all kinds of things, but that's beside the point, I guess. So they are wonderful animals. They actually help us out quite a bit by eradicating disease, and we definitely need help with that this year, don't we? So we say thank you to snakes, and always I recommend if you see a snake in your own environment, please do not pick it up because it will not want to be picked up. It is a wild animal, just like any other wild animal, like a raccoon or anything. They don't really want to be messed with. They just want to be left alone to do their job. But as you can see, she is wrapped around the mouse, taking her sweet time. Now, snakes do not chew their food, as you guys probably already know. If you watched the show before, you just know on your own. Snakes only have teeth for grabbing on and holding. Now, some snakes, of course, have fangs. This is not one of them. Non-venomous snakes do not have fangs. Fangs are technically a hollow tooth, which delivers a venom, right? She is non-venomous. She has no venom. She has saliva, but there's no real venom there. Nothing to speak of at all. They do have saliva, which helps to break down their food, like we all have saliva that helps to break down our food, right? With enzymes and everything. But as far as her teeth go, she doesn't have any venom, therefore she doesn't need fangs. She does have a lot of teeth in her mouth. I don't remember how many teeth they have, but they have quite a few, and they actually grow back as they lose them, which is really handy if you are a carnivore that uses your teeth to grab onto your food. Every once in a while you might lose a tooth, and it helps to be able to regenerate those teeth. So snakes and many other reptiles do regenerate their teeth, which is pretty amazing. I wish I had that ability, right? So these guys do have quite a few teeth in their mouth, but don't worry, they're not very exciting teeth. Most snakes' teeth are very, very, like I said, kind of lame. They are just for grabbing on and holding. They're more like Velcro. So if you have a piece of Velcro here and a piece of Velcro here, one piece of Velcro is going to be the sticky end of the Velcro, and the other end, of course, is the soft end of the Velcro, and they stick together really, really well. That is inspired by nature, of course, but through plants. But snakes, in my opinion, have very similar teeth to like Velcro. It sticks to soft things, like mice and like birds that they might eat. Now, some snakes as well eat fish, and they eat reptiles too, and eggs. But in general, they have teeth that are designed to be able to stick to something soft. So when they reach out and grab their food, just like you saw her coming out of the mulch, and then wham, she ate she grabbed, she's about to eat. She came out and she grabbed the mouse that I was teasing her with the snake, with the feeding tongs, sorry. Tongue-tied today. So she grabbed onto it. Oh, she's gonna eat now. I hope it's gonna be in view of the camera. You can see her face kind of manipulating it there. But she's gonna grab onto it, wrap around with her body a little bit, right? Kind of wait for it to pass, which has already passed, but I guess she's making extra sure. And those teeth are very good at grabbing on. They don't chew their food, and they certainly do not chew it in pieces. So what she's gonna do right now is she's going to manipulate that prey, which is a little mouse, and she's going to eat it head first. and they eat it all in one bite. So they just swallow it whole. Pretty neat. They have a specialized jaw with teeth in it, right? So her teeth are just for designed for grabbing on and holding until she's ready to eat. Then she'll let go and then kind of just manipulate that item into her mouth. But her jaw is basically very, very specialized and totally different than ours. If you touch your jaw, it's all one piece. Your bottom jaw, that is. You have a bottom jaw and then you have your top jaw, right? And our mouth just kind of moves like this, like a lot of animals, and we chew our food in order to consume it. They do not chew their food. They eat it all in one bite. So they need a specialized jaw to be able to do that. I really wish she would. Oh, she is kind of showing you right here, right there by this finger. She is right behind her own body, but she should hopefully show you a little bit more. I can't control what she does, right? So we're doing our best. But she is manipulating that animal with her mouth. But they have a specialized jaw that is not all one piece. So on their bottom jaw, they actually have a split, and they even have a split on their top jaw too. But the bottom jaw split with a gap in it is really impressive. So it's basically like two pieces like this. Imagine I'm a snake. And if I'm going to eat a great big mouse that's going to fit into my head, by the way, they can eat something that's about 3 times the size of their head or at the widest part of their body. So they can basically use their jaw, and since it's split on the right here, they have skin there, but it's split on the inside with their bones. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Down the hatch. See that? She's kind of walking it down. She's got a jaw that can stretch like this. So there's 2 pieces here that can stretch, and she's got a lot of room in the center. And then right here on either side of her jaw here, it's very flexible. So she can open nice and wide here and nice and wide here and a little bit wide here. And that way she can fit in a big meal. And now you can see the tail, which looks like a tongue right now. You can see the tail going into her mouth. She's going to finish right up. But see how they don't have any hands, so they can't just like shove it in their mouth. They have to use their jaw to kind of walk the food into their mouth. But they do have teeth. Don't get me wrong. These guys are non-venomous, but they do have teeth. They just don't have any fangs. So their teeth are just designed for grabbing a hold of the animal initially, waiting until it passes away, right? And then they'll eat it. Now, this type of snake doesn't always wait till their food passes away. They're kind of not picky about that. Animals like constrictors, like pythons and boa constrictors, of course, those guys will really wait until the food is no longer living to eat it, because they're a little bit more shy about eating live animals. If this was a king snake, they really don't care. They just start eating, and they rely on just being quick about it rather than their power to overpower a prey. And I guess she's had a good snack. So that's going to be her meal for the week. So she won't get fed for another week. That is more than enough food for her. She's not skinny. She's doing just fine. So go, Harley, go. Yeah, she did great. That initial grab of the food was pretty dramatic. So I'll have to watch that back later. That was pretty neat. So Harley Quinn did a great job. If you guys have any questions about the snake, please feel free to let me know, because a lot of people have questions about snakes, because snakes are very misunderstood. That she has now eaten. I told her she was a good eater. She's really not a problem. She was just hiding in the beginning because I don't think she knew what was going on. And that's probably my fault for giving her a bunch of mulch to play in, and she was just going to take advantage of playing in the mulch. Right, Harley Quinn? The snakes are really amazing animals. That is how they eat. And here once in a while, like I said, they get fed about once a week. And some of the snakes don't get fed once a week. They get fed maybe every other week, depending on their size. If they're already grown up and they're an adult-sized snake, they don't necessarily need food every single week, and especially during the winter when their metabolism slows down a little bit, because, of course, they are cold-blooded animals, not warm-blooded animals, so they don't need as much meals as we do. So we just kind of use our judgment that way. And baby snakes get fed more often, at least once a week, if not twice a week, because they're growing. And that makes a lot of sense, right? Because they're going to be their bodies are more hungry because they're growing. Good job, Harley Quinn. I think she's going to go back down and hide. But look at her moving around. She's pretty neat. I'm glad you love it, Samantha. So good to see you. Hope you're having a good trip. I know you got to go out of town for the holidays. All right, Harley, she did a great job. Can you see your little face right here? Boop. There she is. And remember, next time you see a snake in your own environment, whether it be outside in your backyard or maybe camping or something like that. I don't know if anybody's camping right now. But if you see a snake in general, just leave it alone. If you have a snake problem, please do not harm or kill the snake, please call a professional to make sure that snake is relocated, because snakes are very important. Even the venomous snakes have a place in the environment and should be left alone. But of course, if you have your own snake issue and you don't know what you're doing, please don't pick up the snake or, try to harm the snake, because you're putting yourself in close proximity with the snake. That's actually putting yourself in a lot of danger, because of course, if a snake feels threatened, that's when they're more likely to go ahead and bite somebody. So a snake that doesn't feel threatened will have no reason to come after you. Snakes do not chase people. They really don't think about that kind of thing. Oh, now she's coming up and saying hello. She's so cute. Oh, she might give us a yawn or her mouth opening. Sometimes they will readjust or realign their jaw by doing a nice yawn or opening their mouth really big. But I guess she wasn't going to do that. Sometimes they do that. It looked like she was about to, but I guess she didn't have to this time. Anyway, so these guys don't really think about coming after people. They have no reason to come after us. We're definitely not prey, and we could be predators. So they really want nothing to do with us, to be very honest with you, especially a wild snake. Snakes in the care of humans learn to tolerate human handling and usually totally fine. They're actually my favorite animals to work with because they're super easy to work with. They don't really have a care in the world when they're living in the care of humans, but out there in the wild, they're scared of getting hurt and harmed and eaten by all kinds of predators. And we're very large to them, so they're probably going to think that we're going to eat them or at least harm them. And it's safe to say that a lot of people do harm snakes, so I'm not really blaming them for being afraid of us. And what's the animal going to do when it's afraid? It's going to try to defend itself. And a snake doesn't have claws, so the only thing that they can use to defend themselves is either getting away or biting you. So the best thing to do is leave them alone, stay your distance away. If you have a snake issue, call a professional. I'm a professional. If you want to call me and you're in the San Antonio, Texas area, let me know. I'll be sure to at least identify the snake for you. I do that all the time and help people out all the time. Yes, I know Harley Quinn is one of your favorites. Samantha says, it's been a good trip, but I'm home. I'm sure you are. So you'll be home pretty soon. Alrighty, Harley Quinn is going to go ahead and move to the side. I'm going to clear this area away. It might take me a couple of seconds to do that. And then we'll proceed with our next animal friend. How would you guys like that? So I shall be right back. And please don't go anywhere. We'll return in just a moment. Okay, thanks for your patience as I retrieve our next animal friend. This is Thor, our ferret. He is one of two ferrets here at Once in a Wild, and he is a special white ferret, as you can see. We have another ferret named Loki. So Thor and Loki, of course, right? And Thor is out here having a good old time. He's actually kind of sleepy today. Are you okay, Thor? Did I wake you up from your nap inside of your travel carrier? Let me hold you really fast and turn our comments back on so I can see y'all's comments. Okay. So this is Thor. If you guys have never met Thor, he is one of our ferrets. And ferrets actually are a domestic version of the European polecat, of course, from Europe. And that is where they come from as a wild animal. So the European polecat is a type of weasel that lives, of course, in Europe. And they actually are very dark colored with a white mass, just like a Raccoon, but they're not in the raccoon family. They're actually in the mustelid family, which is the weasel family. So the mustelid and weasel family are the same thing. And those include weasels, of course, and badgers, wolverines, otters, ferrets. There are a couple of species of ferret. One is the black-footed ferret, which is a North American species, which is a endangered species, actually. And there is the domestic ferret, which comes from the European polecat, which in my opinion should just be called the wild ferret in Europe. It's not really a pole cat. It's not a cat at all, and it doesn't climb poles or anything like that. I don't know why it's called that. Might be something together, right? But yes, they are a domestic species, and why and how they were domesticated was a long almost 3,000 years ago. I think it's about 2,800 years ago now. These guys were actually domesticated for hunting purposes, not to hunt them, even though weasels and minks and other animals like that are hunted for their fur. These guys were actually bred to hunt with people, and they actually are very good predators. Just like the snake is a predator, these guys will eat all kinds of rodents and rabbits and birds and fish and snakes and lizards. You name it, they will try to hunt it as long as it's smaller than them and to eat or maybe even just play with it like a cat does. They will go after them, and they are amazing hunters. And so people, yes, notice that fact. And that goes for all your weasel family, by the way. Otters, wolverines, badgers, all those guys are very tenacious and very good hunters, very, very amazing predators, and top tier predators in their natural environment. Pretty incredible, right? But these guys were actually domesticated to hunt along with people. So they would hunt things like rodents in people's homes. They would also do rabbit hunting on the field, and that is why they were originally domesticated. Now, as you might imagine, Thor is not the natural color, like I said, for a ferret. These guys actually come in all different kinds of colors now in the care of humans after selective breeding and all of that, just like with dogs and cats. But a white ferret like this really wouldn't be ideal for hunting purposes unless it's during wintertime when it's snowing, because these animals will stand out really, really nicely in the field, and therefore they don't camouflage into much of anything. So when they were originally domesticated way back when, almost 3,000 years ago, a long time ago, before I was alive, of course, these guys, every now and then, they would get an albino ferret. Now, he's not an albino. He's actually a dark-eyed white. He's got dark eyes, and he is white. He's also known as a silver, but his coat has developed with age to be almost completely white. He has a little bit of silver left on his body. When he was a baby, he was much more silver with different silver markings. Are you just gonna hang out here like a blob? Like, are you gonna help me hold on to you? He's usually a lot more helpful with holding on to me. Anyway, so when they would get an albino ferret, which is a totally white ferret with red eyes, that would happen as a kind of a mutation accidentally back then. Every now and then they would get an albino ferret in the old days, and they wouldn't use those albino ferrets for hunting. They would actually use them for pets. They would give them away to very rich families like royalty and other like politicians and all kinds of people that had money, and they would be kept as pets, because back then most people that had animals usually had animals either for work purposes or something like that. If you had pets, you were probably doing pretty well. So that just goes for all animals that were pets back then, or like traditional pets, just being kept for the fun of it and for human companionship and things like that. Most people back then didn't have pets unless you had money. So that being said, these guys would go and live in royalty if they were white. So, and that's because, again, they cannot use them, or they could not use them very well for hunting on the field. And I imagine they probably still could hunt a little bit, but it's more ideal to have a camouflaged predator helping you out than one that stands out really well in the field. So they would oftentimes be gifted to royal families and all kinds of important and rich people for pets. So that's actually how ferrets ended up being more popular as a pet, was through the white ferrets, because getting white ferrets, other colors that weren't really ideal for hunting. Isn't that interesting? I'm going to see who has something to say. My hands are very, very messy right now, so I will do my very best to read your comments. Milky Rosie says, "Oh, so cute." Samantha says, "Thor with the purple heart and heart eye, so cute." And I'm sorry it keeps getting stuck for you. I guess it's your Wi-Fi. I don't think anybody else is having any issues with the signal. Let me know if you do. But Viviana will see you another time, I suppose. That is okay. Milky Rosie says, I remember Thor. Thor is adorable. You love animals. That's so nice. Yes, ferrets are adorable. Samantha says he's so snuggly. Yes, his winter coat is nice and long and fluffy. So ferrets actually go through coat changes as a species. Since they are, you ready for more snacks, Thor? I think you are. He's like, give me the snacks, give me all of them. So food motivated. These guys love their treats, which by the way, he's getting some baby food, which is chicken flavored baby food on my hand so he can lick it off. And sorry for my awkward hold of him. The camera position is kind of in a further away spot than normal because of our snake feeding today. So I'm gonna do my best. But anyway, so these guys, what was I saying? Oh, they have their long winter coat, which his is very, can you see that? Very luxurious right now. And they go through seasonal changes. He's actually kind of a chunky boy right now as well. You can see his extra fluff that he's got. Just mean hair. He's got some extra fat on his bones as well. That is perfectly normal for ferrets to get that. That does not mean that he is overweight. They actually do gain weight in the winter to be able to survive cold winters in Europe, right? Their body still does that even in Texas. And they also get a little bit longer of a coat. Can you see his beautiful hair? His hair will shorten during the spring and summer, and his body weight will drop, and he will be a lot less chunky to be able to withstand the hotter months, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of animals go through seasonal changes, though, in their coats or their feathers or their body weight as well. Ricky says, Happy New Year. Yes, we're hoping that 2021 will be a much better year for everyone. And I'm sure it will be. Keep your chin up. We're all in this together. And I hope we're putting a smile on your face right now with our cute animals. Look at Thor licking his chops. And yeah, so Happy New Year right around the corner. We're very excited to welcome in 2021 and should be just fine, you guys. So but anyway, these guys are amazing animals. Like I said, they're predators. They are top tier predators and obligate carnivores. So when I say top tier predator, what does that mean? Top tier predators are top predators in their natural environment. So in his habitat, which is going to be in Europe, he is going to be pretty much a top predator over there. Now, he's not the biggest top predator out there, right? But in his little ecosystem, which is going to be like burrows underground, forested regions, things like that, rabbits beware, other animals beware, for sure. So he's going to definitely be an animal that is more predator than prey. Not to say he doesn't have predators too, potentially. Potential predators for European polecat in the wild, I guess, are going to be things like birds of prey. So birds of prey are oftentimes going to be the only animal that goes after these guys. Most other animals won't go after them because they do have a very strong bite as a wild animal. Even as a domestic ferret, they have a pretty strong bite. I know he's not showing you his snarling bite right now because he's being really sweet right now, but these guys do have sharp teeth and strong jaws. Their short, stout faces actually have a very, very strong bite. Since they have a shorter face, it's almost like a bulldog, right? These guys can chomp down pretty hard, and especially a wild version like the European polecat or ermines and weasels and minks and things like that. Man, they have super strong bites. So that is how they hunt. But these guys do, like I said, have to watch out for a few predators, larger predators like, I don't know, big cats and things like that. Maybe I'm trying to think of a big cat over in Europe. Help me out, you guys. But larger predators for sure. Maybe a larger mustelid, like a badger or something like that, might be able to go after these guys. But certainly birds of prey. Birds of prey will try to go after these guys. So some of their defenses are going to be their bites, of course, and also their flexible bodies. These guys have very, very flexible spines, and they can reach around completely and actually bite a predator to defend their own self. And they can also, they're so flexible, they can get away very, very easily. They can also crawl into a small crevice or hole underground or burrow and get away pretty quickly that way as well. So they have a few defenses to help them survive out in the wild. You can see how flexible they are. They have very, very flexible spines, and they are not, that does not hurt him at all. He can do a full, sometimes they'll sleep like that. Like it's no problem at all for them. And that, of course, is to be able to reach around. If a predator grabs them in the hind end, they can reach right around and bite if they need to. And they can also, of course, manipulate themselves through tunnels and burrows underground to be able to get back out of the tunnels if they hit a dead end or something like that. Very, very handy when you are a tunneling animal, right? Now, why do these guys tunnel? They will tunnel underground to just live underground. They also tunnel underground to be able to find prey. So their main prey is going to be animals like rabbits and rats and animals that go underground too, rodents and things like that. And a lot of times, excuse me, he'd boot me in my own nose and got food on my nose. He's like looking for more snacks. You need to settle down. Settle down. You're so wiggly and crazy. He's like, give me some more food. Okay, I better give him some more food before he goes crazy on me. But anyway, so these guys are, what was I saying? Oh, I totally forgot. Like I said, they can also go underground. So they will go underground and usually find burrows that already exist. So a rabbit's warren. A rabbit's warren is their burrow underground. That's where a ferret will come in and not only take over the warren or burrow, they will eat the rabbits and then they will just live there for a while. Oh yes, very, very true. I know, it is kind of savage, but it's the way of nature. These guys are very much carnivores. If you have a ferret in your own life, please do not let them mingle with any of your other small pets, including snakes. They actually would definitely be able to go after snakes and most likely win. Larger snakes might be able to eat a ferret, but there aren't really snakes like that in Europe, to my knowledge, that would have any inkling to go after a ferret. Ferrets are snake predators. Oh yes, all of the weasel family are snake predators and reptile predators in general. That's questions about our ferret friend. If you guys are just joining us, by the way, my name is Amanda. This is Once in a Wild. We are a mobile zoo based right here in San Antonio, Texas and surrounding cities. And we also have virtual capabilities as well. If you are interested in a virtual animal program of your own via Zoom Room or whatever platform you prefer, we can jump on any old application that you want, but we can provide that for you, or we can come in person to your classroom or your party and what have you, if you happen to be in the San Antonio, Texas area. Look at this crazy ferret dancing. So we've got Thor, our ferret here. He is one of two ferrets. We have Thor and Loki, naturally, right? Brothers that are not really brothers, but they're adopted brothers. Loki is actually the natural color for a European polecat or ferret in the wild, which is going to be very, very dark, almost black with a white mask like a raccoon. But like I said before, they are not related to raccoons whatsoever. They're in a totally different family than raccoons. Raccoons are kind of their own thing. They're related to animals like coatimundis and kinkajous and other kind of strange animals like that. Raccoons and all those other animals I just listed have their own hands. They can use their hands much like we can use our hands with thumbs and everything like that. And they're just totally different animals. Another difference is going to be their diet. A ferret and other mustelids or weasel type animals, they are carnivores. And raccoons, other animals related to raccoons, they are omnivores. So that's another big difference as well. Ferrets are actually not should not be fed any kind of fruits and vegetables or carbohydrates. They do not digest those items very well at all, and it can make them very, very sick, and long-term can be very detrimental to their health. So here at Once in a While, we do feed them a raw meat diet, which is what they were raised on as babies. Baby ferrets are called kits, K-I-T, kits. And fun fact, so are baby rabbits. Baby rabbits are called kits as well. I don't know how that happened, but scientists, you need to come up with a better word for baby rabbits, because I don't agree with that one at all. Because it sounds like kitten and it sounds like kit, which is what these guys are as babies. But these guys were raised on a raw meat diet from the start, so it was no problem keeping them on that raw meat diet, which is the best diet for an obligate carnivore like a ferret or even a cat. Cats do very well on a raw meat diet as well. Fun fact, because cats are obligate carnivores too. All right, you guys, since Thor is such a messy animal, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with him, and that way we can see our final animal species. Oh, he's being so very cute right now. He's going to check out the camera, I think. Say hello, Thor. Like, no, give me more snacks. All I want is food. Are you surprised? Look at this guy. Now, again, he's in his winter weight and winter coat. Beautiful winter coat. So gorgeous. And when it becomes to get warm again, when it starts to get warm again, that's what I should have said. When it starts to get warm again, he will lose some of that fur. That is when they shed a lot, just like some breeds of dog shed a lot seasonally. He will shed all of his winter coat away and lose a little bit of weight, we hope. And he will have that springtime body that we can all be jealous of. So anyway, so Thor's going to say, well, maybe one more snack, and then he'll say goodbye. We got to keep these ferrets occupied, I guess, while they're working. Ricardo says he can comment again. That is so exciting. And maybe you just needed to take a break for a little bit. So what are we going to do? Algorithms of social media make no sense. So yes. So thank you so much for coming into the live stream. We have one more animal species, and there are actually two of them to see. So we're going to meet them in just a second. And then, and I have to put Thor away, of course, because he doesn't mingle well with any other species except for his own and humans. So I'm going to actually take the time to put him away really quick. I'm going to restart my camera's timer. Thank you for being patient with us as I do all of that, and I'll be right back in just a moment as soon as he finishes this little bit of food. You can admire him for just a little bit. I don't know why his eyes are so watery. He must have just woken up from a little nap when he was in his travel enclosure. Oh, Thor. A lot of people ask me if his tongue is rough. It's not as rough as like a cat, but it's pretty rough. Okay, Thor, we are going to be right back. Alrighty, you guys. I'm sorry that took so long. You're not supposed to see this. It takes away the magic. So, also, I noticed this. We're going to have to fix that here in a little bit. All right. So we're just getting settled. And I think I'm going to bring this down just a tad. You want to see my face so very close up. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit harder than last time, but I actually brought back our ducklings. So if you guys saw our last actual live stream, not for the last 2 weeks, but the one 3 weeks ago, we actually introduced our brand new Pekin ducklings, who are now about a month old. And this is, you can probably hear them. They're peeping at me. And when they were here last time, they were literally about this big. They were just a couple of weeks old at that point. Now they're about a month old, so they're a lot bigger. If you know much about Peking ducks, they are very, very large breed of duck, which comes from the mallard duck, just like the domestic ferret that we just met. He comes from the European polecat as a species, and this species and breed comes from the mallard duck. So this is a Pekin duck, which is a Chinese breed of duck. Many duck breeds, fun fact, actually come from Asia. So this is one of them. So I'm actually just going to probably hold them one at a time so you can see how much they've grown. I thought you guys would just like to see how much our Pekin ducks have grown. And I do have a something for my lap because, of course, ducks do like to use the restroom quite a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold one of them for you. Who shall we hold? Who wants to go? I think Lucas wants to go. Oh my gosh, look how large they are. So I thought you guys would like to see. I know it's a little bit awkward. There we go. So this is Lucas, one of our Pekin ducks. The other duckling that we have is Gansito and Lucas. And you can see how big that they have gotten. I know they're so very big. They probably just want to stand here on the table, but then you can't see them. But look how cute they are. Can you believe this is the same duck that we saw last time? So not 2 weeks ago, but 3 weeks ago, I believe. is when we showed them for the very first time. It looks like our light's a little bit bright, so I'm going to turn that light down. You see right there? I'm going to turn this light off. This is real life, you guys. Oh, you can see him. There he is. Let me hold him for you again. Settle down, it's okay. So they're still getting used to everything, and I know they're very awkward because this is kind of their like awkward preteen stage. But look how very cute they are. So Pekin ducks actually are a Chinese breed of duck, like I said, that comes from the mallard duck. And look how sweet he is. They are domesticated, just like the ferret is domesticated. And they were not domesticated to hunt with us. They were domesticated for food purposes. Don't tell Lucas. I'm not going to eat him. Don't worry. He is going to be our friend and an animal ambassador. You can see how he's a little bit awkward. And I didn't really think about the setup today, you guys, because, you want to sit there? What about right there? Oh my goodness. I didn't really think about the setup today, you guys, because I wanted to do the feeding of the snake, and that's a totally different setup than like usually what I would put animals like on a platform. So I do apologize. I'm going to do my best to hold him again. He's actually very sweet and pretty easy to hold. Look how nice he is. Oh my goodness. He's just looking for snacks too, just like Thor was. Maybe he saw all the snacks that Thor was getting, and he's like, where are my snacks? You can see how light yellow he is. When he was here last time, he was very, very bright yellow. And now he's getting to be very, very light colored, because when these guys are adults, they are all white. So when the adult feathers come in, all the down feathers go away, he will be a white duck with an orange bill and orange feet. And these guys are also known as the 10-pound duck because they can get so big and be up to around 10 or so pounds. So think of Sandor, our rabbit, but a duck. They are one of the largest duck breeds in the world. And again, they are actually bred for food. That is their reason for being around. But we are going to actually keep them around for animal ambassadors, of course. So Jeffrey says, what? They are so big now. I know, they're huge. So I can only hold one at a time. This is Lucas, and we have Gansito as well. So ducks, of course, are a waterfowl type of bird. Now, what does that mean? That means they are semi-aquatic. They're not fully aquatic. They do come on land too. And this type of duck doesn't fly, but the mallard duck will fly from here to there, looking for bodies of water to hang out in, swim. They swim really well. They have amazing large legs and webbed feet, which help them effortlessly swim through any body of water that they can float around in. They also have a very specialized bill, which is quite harmless to a human, but inside of their beak or bill is a bunch of little comb-like projections, which look like little teeth to me, and they are called lamellae. Another animal that also has lamellae is flamingos. Flamingos and ducks have that in common. Flamingos have a very, very different beak, though. Their beak is bent in a certain way for them to eat upside down. A duck will eat right side up, just kind of eat like that, and use their bill to feed, though. And that is what a flamingo and a duck have in common, other than other things too. They're both waterfowl and everything like that. Flamingos are kind of their own thing, but they remind me of flamingos in that way. So they have little comb-like projections inside their beak that look like little teeth, and they use them to filter feed or strain food. Now, what is a duck's food in nature? They're going to eat all kinds of things. As long as they're small enough for them to strain or filter feed, they can also eat bigger things as well sometimes, but usually they're going to look into the water and on land for things that they can kind of like filter feed up or eat up in that manner. But in the water, that comes in really handy when you are eating teeny tiny little critters and plants in the water. They are also omnivores, so they eat all kinds of things, whether it be plants or other animals. Yes, and ducks do eat other animals sometimes. They might eat fish and crustaceans and invertebrates. They love worms. They love to eat bugs, all kinds of things. And on occasion, they can eat little small animals like mice and tiny little lizards and things like that on occasion when they're really hungry. Now, as a species, the mallard duck, which is what the Pekin duck comes from, is going to be found throughout the northern hemisphere. So I did say on the last time that our ducklings were here that I thought that they were found all over the world. That's actually not true. They're not found below the equator. So typically they wouldn't be anyway. I'm sure there's exceptions, but For the most part, they're going to be found above the equator, so in the northern hemisphere, but all over the northern hemisphere. So they're not found in like South America for the most part, right? And they're not really found in like Africa very much, but maybe a little bit in the northern part of Africa. But they are also a migratory bird. They do fly very, very well, and they go all over the place. The Pekin duck, however, they are so heavy and big that their wings cannot carry them anywhere. So they do not fly as a breed. Another little kiss. Yes, little kiss for my sweet Peking duck, Lucas, here. Cedric says, oh my goodness, they really grew. Yeah, they're doing really well. They're growing like weeds, and they're only a month old. Can you believe that? Ricky says, Happy New Year, but I think that was before. But they are so big. I don't know how much they weigh right now, but they are a lot heavier than before. In fact, my arms are already getting tired. Now, these guys are wonderful animals. Ducks are amazing animals. Like I said, they have that lamellae to filter feed in their bill. They also have webbed feet, like I said before, and swim effortlessly through the water. My favorite thing about ducks, though, is that they are waterproof. So once they are adults, right now he's midway between being a little baby and an adult duck. Once he's 3 months old or so, he will look like a completely adult duck. I think Gancito's getting really, really jealous. Your brother's right here. It's okay. These ducks are super friendly and they like a lot of attention. You can hear him peeping. So once they are bigger, their feathers will change completely. All of this yellow will go away. You can see he still has some yellow. And all this soft, downy feathers. Stay in there, buddy. He's trying to be with his brother. So he's in a container over here temporarily, of course. You can see his beak coming in. You see your brother? It's okay. You cannot jump out. Please do not jump. They shouldn't be able to jump, I think. If that happens, I will help him. Anyway, so these guys, yep. So these guys, other than being jealous birds, once they grow all their adult feathers, their feathers will be waterproof. Now, why are they waterproof? Well, a couple of reasons. They are insulated because their down feathers will be underneath the waterproof adult feathers, but also they're waterproof because their feathers fit together like a zipper very, very tightly, and they actually seal out water. But another thing that keeps them even more waterproof is their gland that they have. So on the base of their tail, they have a preening gland, as many birds do, not just ducks have this. Many birds have a preening gland that helps them to keep their feathers healthy. But a duck's preening gland and other waterfowl like swans and geese and things like that and flamingos, they all have a very, very oily, specialized preening gland. Be quiet. It is okay. I promise. Just a little bit longer. It's okay. I was going to eat my earring as well. So anyway, these guys will put that preening gland oil all over their feathers and completely waterproof all their feathers. So it's a process for them to do all the time, but they're already designed to be waterproof. And that is my favorite thing about ducks in general, is how waterproof they are, because that water will roll right off their back, and they will get into the water but really not be wet, which is amazing. I wish I had that ability to be so. I know they have a lot to say. I agree, Jeffrey. They can swim right through the water and be totally insulated from the water and not really get wet or be cold. Ducks do very, very well in almost any weather, hot or cold, because they are insulated like a cooler. Now he's settling down, so everything's okay. But yes, they are amazing animals. A lot of people think that they know everything about ducks because they're super common animals to see like on a farm, and you recognize them and things like that, but they're actually amazing birds. And they are birds, and we know, everybody knows that Amanda loves birds. Here once in a while, birds are one of my favorite categories of animals. The ducks are pretty amazing, and they almost look like they're smiling all the time. I don't know what he's thinking right now, but he looks really happy. Look how cute he is, and you can see how big they've gotten. So I've got him to where he's just resting in my hands. I'm holding him with 2 hands, as you can see, and I'm holding him with his legs just kind of like in one hand against me, and he's just kind of plopped down comfortably in my hand. Isn't that sweet? They are very, very well designed for just kind of sitting on the water surface. So once he has all of his adult feathers, he will go swimming a lot more often. But I do have a video of our ducklings actually taking a bath today. Would you like to see that? I bet you would. I'm going to set him down right here. Would you like to rest right there? Oh, you're such a good boy. And we are going to share this video with you guys. There we go. Got to get rid of the last video first. And I just took this today. They do get baths twice a day. It is really important for ducks and other waterfowl to actually get lots and lots of water all over their beaks, and to, of course, get drinks of water to drink. But as they're eating, they actually need to have water and food together to be able to swallow their food. They can actually choke on their food if they don't have enough water to help them get their food down. Fun fact. Okay, let's watch this really quick, and then I'll answer some of y'all's questions that you have. Take a look at this. So this is them getting their bath today. And they seem to be enjoying themselves. Again, they are not waterproof yet, but they are pretty buoyant. They do float pretty well with their bodies. You can see them swimming around with their legs. Their feet are huge, and they do have webbed feet, of course. So this species of duck, the mallard, is where they come from. They're not really a perching duck. And certainly the Pekin duck, which is a breed that comes from the mallard, is definitely not a perching type animal like our wood ducks, but their feet are huge and webbed, and they can swim really well. Just like if you were to wear like flippers when you're diving or swimming in the ocean, or wherever you're swimming, I guess. Look at him go. So you see how the water will help him to clean his feathers and everything else as well. I didn't change our background. Oop. Guys. But anyway, so they will help them to clean and preen their feathers. That's actually important for lots and lots of bird species, is to get water on their feathers to help them stay clean and get a bath. But especially for water birds, they need a lot of baths. So we give them a bath twice a day to keep them nice. Ducks are very, very messy animals just as an animal. So that helps them to get all the water they need and preen their feathers, as well as stay clean, because they are making a huge mess. And before we know it, they're going to be all grown up and waterproof, and they can move outside and live outside with our wood ducks, which should be really, really fun. Okay. Yeah, they are pretty goofy, aren't they, Jeffrey? He says, absolutely. So Ricardo is asking a question. They're so cute, but I'm going to get rid of this. Ricardo is asking a question. Why don't they fly? So this breed of duck has been bred to be so large that their wings are too small to lift their enormous bodies. So that is actually one reason why I selected the Pekin duck. I'm going to pick him up again so you guys can see him. Can I pick you up again for everybody, for the people? You're so awkward. Oh my goodness. Just settle down. Just relax. Good job. See how he just relaxes? Such a baby, even though he's so big. So these guys are so big and heavy. Where are you going? They're so big and heavy. Just going to check out my shirt and see if there's any snacks on my shirt. I promise I feed these guys. They're just growing like weeds. But anyway, they are so heavy because they are bred for food. And the more weight, the more food, that their wings will not lift them any longer. So that's one reason why we selected them. They're also a very sweet breed of duck. They're known to be very, very docile. So we were looking for a good animal ambassador, very, very willing to cooperate with handling and everything like that. Don't get me wrong, we love our wood ducks, but our wood ducks are very wild and very flighty. They do fly, and they cannot really go everywhere in every situation like an animal that doesn't fly, and that's also very tolerant of handling and attention. And we offer all kinds of different types of encounters here at Once in a Wild. We offer educational, more like looking at the animals type encounters. Don't get me wrong. Every animal encounter we try to make educational, of course. But some animal encounters are just for basically interacting with the animals. So petting the animals, touching the animals, animal therapy, things like that. So we needed another type of duck that would be very, very tolerant of human handling and attention. And these guys are very, very docile. But they also do not fly, so we can take them outside to different situations and events without any issues. So it's a little bit easier that way. And they're also very large, just like Sandor, the Flemish giant rabbit that we have, which is the second largest rabbit breed in the world. We selected him for his size as well as temperament. So I guess with large size comes mellow temperaments in ducks too. I don't know. Maybe I'm learning something today. But yeah, so that's why they can't fly. It's just because they're too heavy as a breed. As a species, the mallard duck can fly. They're not the most swift of ducks. They can fly pretty well, but they're not like the wood ducks where they fly, oh my gosh, so very fast. And the wood ducks will also perch in trees very easily because they are so very small. Mallard ducks are actually pretty large for a wild duck species, but they can still fly. Good question, Ricardo. Thank you for your questions, you guys. Well, I think it is time to say see you later to all of our animals and all of you. I hope you guys are happy that we're back. We're happy to be back every single Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We plan to be here. Again, sorry for our 2-week break, but we just really needed it, as well as taking a break for the holidays. So I hope you guys had a great holiday, whatever holiday you celebrated, and I hope you have a wonderful new year. I hope the 2021 year is great to all of us and is wonderful for everyone and much better than 2020. Right, Lucas? Yes, he says yes. So, yes, I hope you have a wonderful new year here in a couple of days, and it's right around the corner. I hope to see you next week here at Once in a Wild Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central right here on YouTube or Facebook, whichever you prefer. And I will try to hop on to Instagram more often, just like I did today, and say hello to you guys, just like I did earlier with Harley Quinn. If you haven't followed us already on Instagram, it's Once in a Wild Zoo. There's zoo on the end of Once in a Wild, and the rest of our social media is Once in a Wild, except for TikTok, which is also Once in a Wild Zoo. You can check us out over there too if you want to. But I think Lucas is adorable. I'm going to set him down so his brother doesn't feel so lonely, I guess. Good job. Whew, and my arm just got a huge workout. Sorry about our backdrop. We will fix that as soon as we can. And I guess we'll see you guys next time here at Once in a Wild.
We are nothing close to ordinary, but we love to be your friend. Hold our hands and let's have fun together, singing as loud as you can. Everybody singing once in a while. Together. Once in a while. I wanna hear you say once in a while. And that's the fun for me and you.
All right, thank you so very much. Let me know if you would like your own personal animal encounter, whether it be virtual or in person here in San Antonio, Texas. You can let me know by calling me or contacting us via onceinawild.com, which is down here as always. Tips and donations are always appreciated via Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal, as well as our Amazon wish list, which is also found at onceinawild.com, as well as in the description down below. Thank you so very much for being here, everyone. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.